welcome back to day 20 of Junk Journal January 2024. This is Candia with For the Love of Paper and Ink, and I'm going to be using this envelope today for my page. It folds out, and I thought putting a little spread on the inside of it where it folds out would be kind of cute. So today's spread is nature, and I have this printable here that has been in my stash for a little bit, and I wanted to use it because I just love those birds and the butterflies on this, but I didn't want to use it just as the page. I decided to cut things out and grunge things up. Then after I'm done grunging up that page, I am going to ink it up with my StazOn Ganache color, and I'm just going to rub the ink pad straight on it. I didn't feel that I needed to get out my distressing tools. I just wanted to rub a little bit of ink on the page. Now I have these two pages that I thought I might use. They are velvet embossed, but I eventually don't end up using them. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to lay everything out, what I want to use. So I know I want to use these two pieces that are from the printable. So I glue that flat page down, and then I'm trying to figure out what I want to put on the background of the page with the birds. It's a little bit big, so I trim it up a little bit more and fit it to the page a little better. After cutting it down, I'm trying to still figure out what I want to put in the background. I dig through my stash and I found this paper from a Japanese book that I had with really pretty prints, botanical prints of flower or plants, trees on them with flowers, I guess you could say. And I wanted to use that and the butterfly. So I definitely decide to use this page and the background behind the birds, but I don't want the envelope showing underneath. So I grab this washi tape that has honeycomb print on it, and I apply that to the bottom of the page, and then I stack the birds on top of that. I'm still fussing around trying to figure out how I want to lay everything out with the birds there on the bottom, where I want to put the butterfly. I do decide that I want the birds there, but the butterfly I move around a little bit. I also want to add a little bit of the washi tape onto the other side of the page to kind of bring the pages together. And then I am fussing with the butterfly, trying to figure out how I want to lay it down, and I realize that I didn't get the top of that glued down all the way. So I glue that down, and then I put the butterfly kind of at the edge of the page so that when you close the envelope, it folds. So I didn't glue down the whole butterfly, I just glued down the center of the butterfly. Then I have these leaf die cuts that I think would be a nice addition to have a little dimension on the page. So I'm just fitting them on the page, seeing where I kind of want to place them. Then I decide that I don't want them to just be wood colored. I'm going to color them up with my Mowed Lawn Distress Oxide just by rubbing it on there. And I do this to all three of the leaves. And then after that, I want to add some of my Tulip Dimensional Fabric Paint Glitter Glue. So I glitter glue up all three of those leaves, and then I leave them to set aside to dry. And while they're drying, I'm going to Distress Oxide in Black Soot, some Tim Holtz stamps. This one on the bottom is a specimen stamp. And then the one that I'm going to do up on the top is a collect stamp. So I thought those would be appropriate for nature, collecting things in nature and having them be a specimen. So those are the two stamps I chose to use from the Tim Holtz line. Now it's the next day. I had to let those leaves dry overnight. And so I'm adding those leaves on, and then I'm going, after I get those all added on, I will add on my date stamp. But as I'm adding my stamp, I realize that I stamp it upside down again. This is the second time I've done this during this challenge. So I have to correct, and I get this little label out that I had used to write the previous stamp on that I had cut off the bottom, but I trimmed it up so that it would be straight, stamped the date correctly right side up on it, and glued it down on top of the page. And that is it for my page for prompt 20, nature. Hope you guys are having fun following along, and I will see you later for prompt number 21, day 21.